Okay, so we are going to make a Francis Bacon style portrait in Photoshop, ready to take on to do our paintings. So this is what some of Francis Bacon's work looks like, and I expect you for homework to do some research on Francis Bacon's work. So I've taken a photo of myself, and you have already got your photos, so if you load your photos into Photoshop, which you already know how to do, and then if you go to filter and then liquify, and then select your tool here and change your brush size here if you need to. You can also change the amount of pressure of the brush, and then slowly work through the portrait. Make sure you keep looking at Francis Bacon's work so you get a real understanding of how his portraits work. So these shapes around here I'm going to blur on my one. So I'm going to come back here, filter, liquify. I'm going to change my brush size. I'm using the shortcut, but you can change it here. And I'm going to just going to increase my pressure a little bit. And start to work through my portrait. You can work into yours as much as you need to do. Now I'm going to keep looking at my Francis Bacon work. It won't let me look at it, so you might be better to get that ready beforehand, so get it on your screen so you can look at it. And then we're going to turn these into paintings, so just bear that in mind. See, that eye I don't really like, so I'm going to go click on this tool here, which is the reconstruct tool, and you could just go backwards and reconstruct what you've done. So you can have a play with some of the other tools as well. You might find that some of them work for you, but what we're not trying to do is make some scary face. What we're trying to do is just distort the face. So once you're happy with what you've got, hit OK, and then what I want you to do is go layer, new layer, and that bit is important. So now I've got two layers like we've learnt before, and if you look at Francis Bacon's work, he's got these different colours coming through, so I'm just going to colour pick one of his colours. No, I'm not, I'm just going to do it by eye. So I'm going to have a look at that kind of colour there, that kind of salmon pink. I'm going to put it on this new layer, get my brush. Again, I'm using my shortcut. You can change your brush size up here if you want to. And I'm just going to draw into some of this. It can be a bit scrappy how you draw into it, doesn't have to be too neat. I'm going to take an orange there as well. And I'm going to put some orange into it. Okay, and then on here you click multiply, and it should just tone it all down for you. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put on there a blur. So it's filter blur and then radial blur. Okay, and then I'm going to hit multiply. There we go. So you can do that as many times as you want to and layer that up so you get these different painted coloured effects in there, and just keep going back and forth until you're happy. So the final thing to do is to change the colour of the background. So to do that, I'm going to take a new layer, new layer, and I'm going to make the whole thing black, and then I'll put that layer behind my photo, and then I can select out my background. You might have to use the rubber as well. And yeah, you might want to either take the rubber, turn it to a brush, change the size of it. It's too big still, change the brown of it, change the flow of it so it's a bit softer. Just work on those edges there. But again, this is only to help us with our painting. So this is our prep work to go on to then produce a painting. So once you're happy, then save and print off. But if I was going to carry this on, I'd go back into my liquify again, filter, liquify, and work back onto it again. And keep adding the colours and keep working on it till I'm happy that it looks a little bit like one of Francis Bacon's paintings. Okay, good luck.